Sometimes the most extraordinary lives come from the most unexpected places. This is the story of Arav, a boy everyone counted out, except himself. His journey from the last bench of the classroom to becoming the voice of hope for millions will leave you speechless. Stay with me till the end. This one might just change your life. Arav was always the last bench kid. Not because he wanted to be, but because life placed him there. Teachers never called on him. Students barely noticed him. His clothes were worn, and his books were hand-me-downs filled with notes he didn't understand. His father drove an auto rickshaw. His mother cleaned homes. He wasn't poor just in money. He was poor in confidence. One day during 7th grade, the teacher asked everyone to write an essay about what they wanted to be when they grew up. Some said doctor, some said engineer, some said actor. Arav wrote, "I just want my parents to smile and sleep peacefully." The teacher didn't read it out loud. She probably thought it wasn't ambitious enough. But ambition was brewing inside him, in silence. At 14, Arav found an old computer at a scrapyard. Broken keyboard, no mouse, cracked screen. He worked part-time at a tea stall for 3 months, saving every rupee to buy that junked PC. When he finally powered it on, it blinked twice and died. But he didn't. He took it apart, learned how each part worked, and fixed it using parts from abandoned electronics. It took him 6 months. He turned that machine into his mentor. He learned coding, design, and basic English from free websites. He didn't have a tutor. He didn't have a coach. But he had Google, and he had hunger. At 17, he built a small app that helped local vendors track their sales. He presented it to a local event. People laughed. "Who'll use your app, Chaiwala?" one judge said. The laughter was loud, but his silence was louder. That night, he went home and cried. Not because they rejected his idea, but because they rejected him. Not for what he created, but for where he came from. For a moment, he thought about quitting, giving up. But then he remembered his mother's hands, how they'd crack and bleed after washing dishes all day. He remembered his father sleeping in the rickshaw because rent was too high. He didn't have the privilege to quit. Arav went all in. He worked 9 hours at a mechanic shop, came home, showered, ate, and studied from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. every single night. For 3 years. He launched another app. This one tracked and improved mobile internet speeds. It started with 10 downloads, then 100, then 10,000. One night, his app was featured by a tech blog. By morning, he had 500,000 users. And a call. It was from a company that wanted to acquire his app. They offered him a sum that was more than his family had seen in 3 generations. But he didn't say yes. He asked, "Will this money be enough to retire my parents?" They said yes. He signed. At 21, Arav moved into a 2-bedroom apartment and gave the keys to his parents. "No more dishes, no more rickshaw," he said, crying. He launched a tech school, free for underprivileged kids. He knew there were thousands of Aravs sitting on last benches, just needing one working PC and someone to believe in them. Within 2 years, his school trained 4,000 students. 72 of them went on to work at major tech companies. He was invited to speak at conferences, honored by newspapers, and interviewed on national TV. But his favorite moment? Walking into his old classroom and sitting again, on the last bench. This time, not as a student, but as the chief guest. He looked at the children and said, "Your background is not your boundary. Your pain is not your prison. And your past is not your full story. The world may laugh at you, but just make sure you're not laughing with them. Make sure you're building in silence, because one day your silence will make the loudest noise." Arav is not a celebrity. You won't find him trending, but maybe you'll find a part of him inside you. Maybe you're sitting on a last bench right now, feeling forgotten, underestimated, or lost. But just like him, you've got something no one can see, something the world won't believe in, until you make it real. This is your sign, your push, your turning point. Don't wait for permission. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Because one day your story will light the way for someone else. If this story touched your heart even a little, take a moment to like the video. Share it with someone who needs a spark of hope. And if you want more stories like this, real, raw, and powerful, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you're the first to hear the next one. Thank you for watching.